Hi, I'm Dave. I help businesses to use tech more effectively. Today, we're talking about multi-factor authentication, something you have and something you know. So you're almost certainly familiar with this by now, I hope. But I just want to kind of talk through some of the technologies, where's it going, what I recommend, and some buzzwords in this video. Sorry, it's going to flit a bit between tech. So let's do the non-tech stuff first, and then if you're interested in the tech, you can skip to that bit, or you can just stop watching the video at that point and book a call with me and we'll chat about it more. Okay, so the non-tech stuff. First of all, everything that's online, you need to have multi-factor authentication. That's something you have and something you know, okay? So the banks have been doing this for a long time, and I'm sure that you're using it in your business. If you're not, I'll help you. What we need to do, though, is understand that multi-factor authentication is not everything that you need to do. It can be hacked, unfortunately, now. So there are ways of getting around it that hackers are using, and I'm going to explain some of those briefly. And I'm also going to explain about how the resistance to using MFA can be overcome, especially if you're working with non-technical, maybe older people who don't understand about this and they think it's a risk to them to have MFA when exactly the opposite is true. So let's just start with that briefly. So if you've got people in your team that don't want to use the Microsoft Authenticator on their phone, you can buy them a phone. You could buy them a thing called a YubiKey. Well, that's just a little thing that plugs into your computer that you can use to authenticate them. Really cool. But really, you want to start with the explanation of like people wear their own clothes to work. So they've already got the phone. We're not accessing it. All we're doing is using it to verify who they are. You're not going to have control over their device, well, unless you install your mobile management stuff. So generally, people are fine with it. We don't have anyone, when we explained well, we don't have anyone that's resistant. And generally, those people that do are either elderly or are just a pain in the bum, and you probably want to sack them anyway. Okay, so rolling out MFA, nowadays, there's lots of different technologies. We recommend you use Microsoft Authenticator application, and you block all of the other authentication types. So we used to use things like SMS authentication, we get text message. It's not secure anymore. People can bypass it by just doing a thing called a SIM swap, and then phoning people up as authentication. That's not great either. And we've seen various technologies over the years. Microsoft Authenticator is the best thing to do. And there's a new thing coming in called Passkeys. Passkeys is really good because basically it's an encrypted thing on your device and it can't easily be hacked. Okay, let's get into some of the more deep tech. What I want to make sure is everything that you have, that you use, that's web-based, has multi-factor authentication, okay? And if it doesn't, you need to stop using it because it's not secure. And people need to be securing their own personal social media because, again, they're going to get hacked. If people are using the same password everywhere, Co-op lost all of their passwords, yeah? If they've got that same password as their work password, their LinkedIn, Facebook, it's all going to get hacked eventually. All the stuff's on the dark web, it's not hard to find. Train people how to generate good long passwords. What I recommend is that you use Passkeys, you use Microsoft Intune, and we work towards using passwordless authentication. So basically it uses Microsoft Windows Hello to sign people in, and then it's frictionless. Once they've signed in on their device, because ideally using biometrics, either face recognition or fingerprint, what's really great about that is because even if somebody steals the device, they can't really do much. Obviously you've got pins we can use, but at least it's linked to the device. So someone physically has to have the device to hack into it. That's much more difficult. Those hackers in China and Russia, they're not going to have access to your physical devices. It makes it much, much harder to hack. With multi-factor authentication, with Microsoft Authentication, even with the pattern hash, obviously traditionally put in the 6-digit code. Now you can just have it say, right, sign in, I'm in this location, yes, it's me. But you also get fatigue, where hackers just keep saying, authenticate until they say yes. So we do need to be aware of that, and we need to train the users on it. And we need to train them not to scan random QR codes as well, by the way. But what's happening now is because of the man-in-the-middle attacks, people will be trying to sign into a web page. It says, oh, you need to authenticate with Microsoft. It looks legitimate, and they say yes, then they steal their token, and then they can impersonate them. There's technologies we can put in place now that notices impossible travel, it notices if things are being done, like, for example, creating email rules, and then blocks the sign-ins. We need those tools in place. But what we really want to do is move towards using Azure to sign in. And then the great thing about that is that with Microsoft Business Premium, or P1 now, we've got token theft prevention. So it's very, very hard for people to steal the MFA token and impersonate the user, at least for now. So that's it really. That's a whistle-stop tour of MFA. But for Cyber Essentials, you need to have it on everything. And if you're not doing it, you will get hacked. If you've got weak passwords, you're not using MFA everywhere, especially on admin accounts, well, get hacked. Just sort it out. It's worth the pain. I know it's painful, but you've got to get it done. Thanks. If you need help with getting it done, get in touch. Speak to you soon.